Hidden stories, true stories, real lives. Subscribe for more.
I am 70 now, and I have a story I never told anyone. Not my friends, not my family, not even my children. I kept it locked in my heart for decades. When I was a young mother, I believed love could fix everything. I had two beautiful children, a daughter and a son. I loved them more than anything. Every morning I would wake up before them, make breakfast, pack their little lunches, tie their shoes, brush their hair. I wanted to make their world safe, warm, and full of love. My husband left when the children were very small. I remember the day clearly. He didn't yell. He didn't fight. He just packed a bag and walked out the door. My children were too young to understand, but I could see the confusion in their eyes. My daughter kept asking, "Where's Daddy?" And I had to force a smile. I told her he was busy with work. But inside, I was breaking. For years, I worked 2 jobs. I cleaned, cooked, smiled. Every day, I put on a mask of strength. I whispered to myself at night, "I can do this. I will survive. I will not let them see my pain." But inside, I felt empty. The children grew and life became harder in a different way. They started to pull away. My daughter became busy with friends, school, and later her own life. My son started spending more time outside, going on trips, meeting people I didn't know. I understood, of course. I wanted them to have freedom, a life of their own. But the emptiness was sharp. Each missed phone call felt like another little abandonment. Each skipped visit felt like a quiet rejection. I remember one winter evening, I was making dinner and my daughter was supposed to come home early, but she never arrived. I called, texted, waited. Finally, late at night, she answered, apologizing. "Mom, I got busy, don't worry." But I did worry. I worried every day that they were forgetting me, that I was becoming invisible in my own family. I found little ways to survive. I remembered my childhood love for painting, so I started drawing again. Flowers, sunsets, little houses, things that made me feel alive. Sometimes I would walk to the park where we used to have picnics and just sit quietly, listening to the wind, thinking about the life I had lived. I also kept a small garden on the balcony. The smell of soil, the green leaves, the tiny flowers, it became my refuge. I would water the plants and talk to them, telling them about my day, my worries, my small victories. The plants didn't judge me. They just grew, and in a strange way, I felt I was growing with them. Years passed. I became a ghost in my own home. I worked, cooked, cleaned, smiled. Friends noticed that I seemed quieter, more withdrawn. Sometimes they asked why I was alone so often, and I would just laugh and say, I enjoy my peace. But the truth was, I was lonely, deeply lonely. I had devoted myself to my children, to a family that slowly drifted away, and yet I survived. Somehow I kept going, and one day I realized something important. I cannot wait for others to see my value. I cannot live my life hoping someone will come back or notice me. I started doing things for myself. I visited museums I had always wanted to see. I cooked meals that I loved. I read books that I had set aside for decades. I laughed at little things like a bird landing on my balcony or the first snow of winter. I began speaking too. Not publicly, but to myself, to my memories, to the people who were still in my life. I admitted my sadness, my anger, my hurt. And in admitting it, I began to heal. Now, when I sit by my window and watch the sunset, I think about all the years, the children who drifted, the husband who left, the life I struggled to keep together. And I breathe, I smile. I remember the small joys, the smell of bread in the morning, the sound of my daughter laughing when she was 5, the warmth of my son's hand in mine when he was small. I share this story because I know someone out there feels invisible. Someone is still waiting for love that isn't returned, for attention that never comes. I want you to know it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to be angry, but it is also okay to live for yourself, to find small joys, to laugh again, to feel alive. Even if the people you love walk away, you can still find peace. You can still love. You can still be free. Life is too short to live silently, waiting for someone to notice you. And even after 70 years, I have learned that freedom, joy, and love can come from within.
Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe for more.